All right. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of As a Man Thinks podcast. It's been a minute since I've been on here. Well, actually been doing some recording, but not putting them out yet. So I decided on my way home from work today that I was going to talk about something. I heard something on a podcast I was listening to, or a little snippet. And this lady asked this person, another lady, young lady, she asked her to take the sex out. How do you please your man without sex? And when she asked the question, the young lady said nothing. She didn't do anything. She just, she was speechless. And so then another young lady came on and she basically started getting on the women about if you paused with that question, that you really needed to go back and do some self-introspection about yourself. Because if you just think that you opening up your legs is going to keep a man, it's going to satisfy a man at all times, she was like, you're totally wrong. So I, being the type of guy that I am, I know that sounds cliche. I can't even say the word, but you know what I mean. I started thinking about that, and that's true. Talk about that all the time with my partner, my wife, and we talk about that if it was dark and we couldn't see each other, we weren't hungry, we weren't thirsty, we just had to be in existence. We wasn't sleepy. What would we do? Could we coexist? And we have a lot of conversations. I don't know about everybody else, but we talk about a lot of various things. So it got me to thinking about that, what I see on social media regarding how people, value themselves, whether it's through money, whether it's through body, whether it's through, who their family is, whether it's through what type of clothes they buy, where they go to party, I don't know, where they work, whatever. I feel sorry for that type of person, because if you are that type of person that values yourself with material things, with what somebody thinks about you, your value should come from within. It should just come from within. It's really sad that if you only see yourself as a sexual object, and I'm speaking to the ladies. When I got married, I told my wife that sex is a part of our relationship, but that's not the only thing that drives me. Not, that's a cog in the wheel, cog in the engine. There's so many layers to me that I need more than that. I need more than you just to open your legs, or more than you just to walk around in little panties and t-shirt or whatever. Well, that's all good. Don't get me wrong. I really like that. I like the way she looks, but I need more than that. I need some substance. I need something about you. I need you to be doing something. So the question about how do you please a man without sex? All men are different. So I can just talk about myself. If I come home, when I come home from work, because I still have a job for now, I'm in my company truck for about an hour and a half every day, fighting traffic. So when I get home, my wife wants to tell me about her day, and I listen, but she knows to keep it to a certain point. She knows, that most of the time, she asks me about my day. She tells me a little bit about hers. I may go upstairs for a minute. I may go outside. She gives me that time immediately when I get home. She doesn't nag me. Most of the time, because she works from home, she has cooked something for me, which I greatly appreciate, because normally all day, I kind of fast all day. I don't really eat while I'm at work. So when I get home, I'm hungry. and it's about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Go to work so early in the morning, so I really appreciate that. She already had my food ready. Not every day. She's not a slave for me or nothing like that. So she'll have that done. She might pour me a drink. And she goes and keeps working. And then after, I eat, like I said, I may go work out before I eat sometimes. But if I don't, like I said, I come upstairs to the computer in our office where I'm at now, and I do my thing. But she doesn't bother me. And after, it could be 15 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, then we'll engage back in conversation, if that's what it's going to be. Now, some other days, if she doesn't cook, we do have our date nights to which we go to. We kind of started this thing going, having date night on Thursday. So in those days, even still, I don't just come right home, hop in the shower, change clothes, and go. I still need my time. Now, to some guys, that may not be pleasing, but to me, that's pleasing. One, she's not nagging me about anything that's going on. If she got to tell me about something about the kids, which they're not kids, they're all grown, but she's going to tell me about them, co-workers, maybe a family member, maybe something that happened around the house, whatever. There's no nagging about it. And I think that sometimes with a guy, silence can be viewed as a good thing and not a bad thing. Just because somebody is silent doesn't mean that something is wrong. So that's one thing. There's no nagging. We talk for a little bit. She asks me if I'm okay. She feeds me, all that. That's good. So on a normal day when I'm not at work and it's a Saturday and say we don't have anything really going on, too much of nothing, she gets up, now I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying that I don't like to get it in. So if it's a Saturday morning and we decide to get it in, it could be 5 o'clock in the morning. I might get woke up with some head. You never know, man. There's nothing wrong with that. So after that, she'll get up, go to the gym again, giving me my space. I'm big on each one of us getting each other their spaces. And so these are things that we have discussed already, so she knows certain things about me. She knows that, I'm kind of like a neat freak. So she keeps the house in order, which I share in the responsibilities. Don't get that twisted. We don't have any roles. I clean up, wash dishes, cook. I do the same things that I just told you about. If she's out, I'm at home, I cook, I serve her, I make sure she's all right, I give her space. So don't get it twisted. It's not all my way. It's just that I'm telling you what I like, and I like that one aspect. If I'm out somewhere, I decide to go see my family, she doesn't call, she's not nagging me. Again, the nagging thing can be a big thing for guys. They don't want to be hounded. They don't want to be they treated like a little kid. Now, if you are a guy that has been out there messing up and cheating on your woman, and she has given you another chance in her good graces, then maybe you need to be hounded and nagged, and you need to share your location with her because you have been untrustworthy in the past. I haven't had that problem. I haven't been untrustworthy. I share my location with her. I don't have a problem with that because I'm not sneaking off trying to do anything, not having any backdoor side conversations, trying to, mess with somebody else. So again, she gives me my space. When we are out together, it's not just about what she wants to do. She constantly asks me, what I want to do, what I like. And she knows certain things I like, and she does that. I like, for instance, I like hanging out by the beach, and we can either go on the sand or sometimes we go to Malibu and just park right there by the rocks. since I grew up kind of in the city. I grew up in a city that was near the beach, right there by the beach, Venice. I like the water. So, it could be 2, 3 o'clock on a Saturday, Sunday. Hell, it could be night. And we'll pack up a cooler with some drinks, stop and get a little food, or we may pack something here, take our little chairs, and we go out there and sit by the rocks. And we've been out there at 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 6 at night, 6 in the evening, whatever. And we kick it. I like simple stuff. I'm not big on, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. She has done those things. I've been to, the fancy of the fancy restaurants. She spoiled me with all type of stuff. My thing is I like spending time with her. My love language, my number one love language is quality time. So I love just the interaction with her. I love being around her, and so again, I do like sex. I do like that connection that when we do have sex, I feel like I can release my emotions into her. I may release some substance inside her, on top of her, on her titties, whatever, but I still have that connection with her. It is something that I've always, been that type of guy. I've never been just a one night stand type of guy. I'd like me to meet somebody and have sex with them the same night that I met them. My body's not wired up like that. I guess it's the Virgo in me, that it just doesn't allow me to do that. I have to have some type of connection with you. So with that being said, I like the sex that we have, but that's not all that I see her for. I don't just see her as, oh, I just want to have sex with you. No, sorry. That's not what it is. That's a part of it. Like I said, we always talk about a wheel. I learned this in a class I took. You have spokes on the wheel. So you have a lot of spokes that are, in life, as far as our life, we have, our health spoke, we have our spiritual spoke, and so on and so on. You get the point of what I'm saying. So if one of those are not being fed and one of them is being fed too much, it's like a tire that is out of balance. If you go at a high rate of speed, it will start to shake up and down because the tire is not balanced. Your steering wheel will start to shake and you're like, what's wrong with my car? The wheel's out of balance. So when one of your spokes is out of balance, then, my relationship is out of balance. So on a daily basis, me and her both are trying to keep the wheel balanced. And it's not an easy thing because every day is a different day. It's different obstacles that come your way. The one thing that she also knows that I like that pleases me is that we pray every morning before I leave to go to work. I leave to go to work at 5 a.m. And before I leave, we pray. If it's on a Sunday or Saturday, Wednesday night, whatever, we say a prayer before one of the other leaves the house. We pray at night before we go to sleep. I know I didn't took from this subject of take the sex out, but I'm just telling you the things that matter to me. Now, some guys may not be into, the praying and all that, but you get the point of what I'm saying. It's not only you can't just think that just because you got a big booty, big titties, flat stomach, you look good, you dress nice, that you can keep a guy. You can get a guy, sure, but can you keep him? People see, people have said, me being around people, I wonder how this dude got this chick. He must got a lot of money or he got a big dick. That's the first thing a dude gonna say. But that's not the case. He may be a good guy. He may be funny. He may be caring. He may be loving. He may be everything outside of what you're saying. Sometimes it don't have nothing to do with the sex or the money. That's like young thinking, real young thinking. I don't know how dudes can still say that in today's time. I spoke about on past episodes of that the internet is saturated. So how do you pick? You got 100 women or men that look the same. What's going to separate them? If they all look the same, they all, whatever, what's going to separate them? Their personality, their character is what's going to separate them. And so that's ultimately how you can be in a long lasting relationship. It just was funny how the young lady, when she asked that question and she went in on the women, I wish I could play it and play some of what she said. It was really something. I mean, it was a lot. And I was like, damn, she's going in. And what she was saying made sense because she was talking to maybe some people, some of her friends. Maybe she was talking to some of her family members, or maybe, that when you don't value, when your value system is based on those type of things that are not long lasting, because one thing for sure, your body is not going to look the same in your 20s as in your 30s. You may still look good, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be the same. As you get older, your metabolism slows down. Your skin starts to sag a little bit. I know they have plastic surgery, and you can go get that. You can get your face tightened, and you can get your body nipped and tucked and all that. I'm not, no judgments on that. That's not the way that, in my opinion, that a relationship is going to last, though. Just like I said, based on, I keep saying it because I'm trying to drive this point home. There are a lot of guys out there that have dogged a lot of women out. I understand that too, just like vice versa. It goes both ways, but we're going to talk about the fellas, dogging the young ladies out, talking to multiple women. Hell, talking to friends, I guess if you're in a certain circle, if you're a celebrity, if you're a YouTuber, if you're influencer, sorry, you may, run in the same circle. So, it's a probability that you can start dating some of the same people, and then that's a thing for you and your, friends, your close friends to, come up with a so-called pact that, hey, if you just was messing with this guy, or excuse me, if you just was messing with this female and you didn't really think nothing about her, then she free game. But if you start talking to a young lady and you really have feelings, then she should be off limits. But the world, it seemed like no matter what city you go to, it could be 10 million people. The city is still small because you're only hanging with a certain amount of people. My point is, you still got to have something about yourself to have something withstanding. Now, if you're not looking for nothing withstanding, you're just looking to jump up and down in something, and just have fun with, a particular chick, cool. But some guys don't let the woman know that up front. They lead her on and make her think that they want something more, and it's not there. So therefore, she may see herself as just being, she may not see herself as being a sexual like object like that, just thinking that that's all she has. But the dude treats her like that. So when the guy starts treating her like that, and then she talks to another guy and he does the same thing, and then it's so on and so on. Now she thinks, well, this is all my value is that dudes just want to jump up and down on me. So then when a good guy comes along and he likes the sex, but he requires more, she doesn't know what to do. She's stuck. She like, well, these 10 other dudes right here was cool with me just, going out with them, hanging out. We go out to eat. We go to a comedy show. We go to a day party. I'm the arm candy. And it's cool. But this other dude who may be in the same field, maybe in the same industry, but he's not those other guys. He is him. He wants more. So what do you do then? By then you may be scarred. You may have issues of being dogged out, and this, those things could happen over, a 1 year span, 10 year span. It could be a 20 year span, and you may develop some type of issues from that. And so when you try to, when a guy really wants to settle down with you, then you don't really know how to be that woman that he needs. And that's sad. Hold on a minute. I was a little parched. Sorry for that. But you have to know yourself. You have to know what your values are. If you don't know what your values are, how are you going to be something for somebody else when you don't know what to value? I mean, that's kind of like, that's the first thing that you need to do. You need to be able to tell somebody who you are. Who are you? I've said this in other episodes too. Who the hell are you? Not where you work, not where you grew up, not how much money you make, not what type of car you drive. None of that. Who the hell are you? Are you caring? Are you understanding? Are you responsible? Are you funny? Are you whatever it is about yourself? I don't know. I know me. I like to think of myself as a responsible person. I like to think of myself as a understanding person. And I also like to think of myself as a caring person, meaning that if I'm with you, if you're part of my circle, I put your needs before mine. That's showing caring. Me showing understanding. That means that, the understanding, the being empathetic, all those things, I kind of wrap those things in one, meaning that if you're talking to me, I'm not just trying to think about what I'm going to say next. I'm going to be, I guess, sensitive, understanding to what you're saying. I'm not going to just take it. I'm not going to be on my phone talking about, yeah, I'm just not going to pick my phone up like, yeah, No. And I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to make sure, like I have a family, I'm going to make sure that everybody has what they needs. I may not be able to provide everything they want, but I'm going to make sure that everything that they're supposed to have, we're going to have. And that includes everybody. So anyway, what type of person are you? What's your value system? Like, really, think about that. Who are you? What do you really ultimately want out of a relationship? Do you just want to take trips? Do you just want to ball out? Cool. Find you somebody that has that matching energy. But don't get mad when that person has somebody on the side that is getting what they really need. And it don't have nothing to do with sex or it don't have nothing to do with money. It could just be a conversation. If you can't talk to your person about everything that's going on in your life, then, pretty much if you can have best friends and all that. My opinion, if you have a spouse and you do happen to, coexist in the same house, your spouse ends up being, your best friend. You can still have, you still have a best friend, but in my opinion, your spouse is your best friend because that's who you spend the majority of your time with. If you like them. Now, if you don't like them and you still want to go hang out with your boys all the time and your girls, cool. That's what type of relationship you got. I like hanging out with my wife. I ain't gonna lie. We have fun together. We respect each other's, spaces. We're both trying to build our side businesses. We have multiple ones together. We got multiple ones separately. So we give each other our space to work on those when we're not working on our business together, and we have different, by us understanding that, by us having those talks, prior, there's no hard feelings when she tells me, babe, I got to work, I got to pull an all-nighter because I got to meet this deadline. She doesn't trip when she falls asleep and, or she wants to go, or I don't trip when she wants to go to sleep, early because she's had a long day. And I just come in the office and I start banging out content. I'll start doing what I need to do. We don't have an issue because we know how to take the sex out. We don't have to have sex every night, and we can still be intimate. You know, if we go to sleep and I'm spooning her, you know, we could start out like that. She appreciates that. It could be in the middle of the night. I'll just reach over and pull her into me. She likes that. I know she likes little stuff that I know she likes. I try my best to do it, not because it's only because she like it. I want to do it because I like to please her. Remember what I said about her pleasing me? I also like to please her. You know, it's nothing wrong with pleasing your woman. It's nothing wrong with all those things I said before about, you know, us sharing. We don't have roles in this. We don't have roles in this relationship. Yeah, she views me as the head of household. But if there's any major decision going down, it's just not my way or the highway. I discuss everything with her. You know, before that, if I have to make a rash decision, she trusts me. You know, I'm the CFO of this. She calls me the CFO because I may be a little bit better with numbers than her. She doesn't want to have to worry about that, you know, but just because we play around and I had that title, that doesn't mean that she can't go look at all our various bank accounts, all our various credit card statements or credit scores or whatever. It's an open book. You know, we have a spreadsheet every month on how much, you know, money we bring in and we spend and we take out. You know, those kind of things are important. Those kind of things are important with me, that she cares about that. That pleases me. So again, what pleases me don't have to please the next person. But as a woman, you do have to know that sex is not the only thing. And I know, yeah, you can know that and you can say, hey, yeah, I know. But are you practicing it? If you're with somebody, ask yourself why you can't keep somebody. If you're single, if guys keep cheating on you and you look good, ask yourself that. I know guys can be dogs. I get that. But at some point, you got to look at yourself and do some work on yourself. You know, if you are attracting the same type of guys, put yourself in a different situation, a different environment, the environment of the guys that you want to attract. I know it's kind of hard these days because everybody just like to slide in DMs or whatever. Cool. Slide in somebody's DM that slide in somebody's DM that you want to be a part of that circle, not circle, but just a part of, you know, what type of lifestyle that they have, you know, but before you slide in, have some things that you know that are wrong about you, you know, address those, be working on those. You may not have solved them all or fixed them, but at least recognize where your deficiencies are. Gotta start somewhere. So anyway, I hope this didn't sound like I was bashing women, because I don't want to do that. It's not what I'm about. I just know that at certain times we don't look at ourselves enough in the mirror before we point fingers at somebody else on why things don't work. So that's why I named this episode Take the Sex Out, because if you couldn't have sex with somebody, how would you sustain your relationship? That's the question that I want you to ask yourself. So until next time, I'm going to sit here and drink the rest of this. I think this is some Casamigos. I tried it. I'm not saying I really like it. I'm more of a different type of tequila drinker. I'm not a big tequila drinker, but I do drink it. Yeah, this is Casamigos. It tastes okay, but it's not something I just bought. This is my first, well, maybe my second time. Anyway, I'm going to finish this. I do have some water too, though. I do I'm pretty hydrated, but yeah, I'm going to get it, get some work done. And until next time, remember, ask yourself, what is your value? What can you bring to a relationship besides sex? Let me know.